Alright, so it's Wednesday, went out, got my comics. I've already read Marvel Legacy 1, which you can see right in front of you now. And overall, my conclusion of it is that it's not too bad. It's okay. It's not like Rebirth. It pretty much just moves the chess pieces and puts things into place for things to play out in the future, which I think is fine. There's one or two bits where there was a bit of cringy dialogue, but overall, it's okay. Is it? Do you have to get it? No. It poses a lot of questions. I think more questions than answers. You get a return of a certain very famous Marvel character as well, and actually you get more than one return. Actually, there's about like kind of two returns in this already, but yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. Obviously, you start off like 1 million years ago, and kind of like the main kind of like thing that it's about, that kind of like we see dealt with later, starts off obviously in 1 million years. So there's something buried beneath the earth that we get to find out some more about. But yeah, so this one shot, like I said, it puts everything into perspective of kind of like where the universe is going. Like, there's some pretty interesting things. Obviously, we've got like Tony Stark's body just disappears, and that's why the search for Tony Stark begins. Stuff like that. You've got Captain America here, and this is the only like page that he's in. But what got me is that everyone's calling this Cap the real Captain America, whereas, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I remember in Secret Empire, is that he's not the real Cap. He's just made up of someone's memories, Kobik's memories of Steve Rogers. But in the news report, it actually says, one second, but after everything his supposed doppelganger put this country through, we all want to know where the real Steve Rogers is hiding. Well, where is the real Steve Rogers hiding? And then it goes on to say, and when will he answer for what's been done in his name? It's like he can't answer for what's been done in his name, because he didn't do it. HydroCap did. How do you expect him to answer for what someone else has done? I think it's absolutely mental. And then I think one of the most surprising things for me in this was, where is it? Come on, why can't I find you? Skip some pages. This Wakanda, but it's like, it's in space, but it's on a planet called Bast, and it's the intergalactic empire of Wakanda. And it's just this page. This is all we see of it. There's kind of no explanation, so I'm kind of confused. I'm like, have I missed something? Have I not been paying attention? Because last I knew, Wakanda was on Earth and it was in Africa. I had no idea that they had spacefaring intergalactic empire. Or maybe this is something that's to come soon, perhaps, in the main Black Panther series that will be explained, I'm guessing, because obviously, but yeah, there's loads of little stuff that, yeah, like I said earlier, it just sets up a lot of other things. I'm not going to spoil as to who the returning Marvel, the major return of Marvel character was in this specific thing here. You'll see for yourself when it happens. You'll be like, oh, it totally makes sense. Well, you didn't totally see it coming, but I guessed that character. Unless the return of the character in this isn't what the big deal was, I can't tell. I think the return of the character in this is quite a big deal, but I don't know. When you read it, obviously come back here, comment, let me know as to whether you think that is the return of the big deal character, or if it's not. Because from what I've heard, the character that returns in this isn't. So I don't know, maybe that's due to come later down the line, who knows, but I guess we'll see. So yeah, like I said, overall it's okay. It moves all the pieces into place for Legacy, and I think it will take some time for kind of all the bringing back of the old characters and whatnot. It'll take some time for that to actually happen. It's not an instantaneous thing. This isn't like Rebirth where kind of DC essentially went, yeah, we fucked up, but we have a reason and a way to kind of tie it all together and say, oh, Wally West was in the Speed Force and Dr. Manhattan tampered and stole X amount of years, and so things were different and they weren't supposed to be that way. Everything was supposed to be reset after Flashpoint Paradox, after Flashpoint. But yeah, this just goes, yeah, this is where the Marvel Universe is at the moment, and we're setting things in place for it to go in this direction. And that's all this pretty much does. I wasn't really offended by it. There's one weird bit with Riri Williams though, where she looks so angry. Like, and you'll know when you read it, you'll know the bit I'm talking about. But I don't know what's going on with Riri, man. That's kind of weird. But yeah, other than that, I got some other stuff from the comic book store. I got Batman: The Red Death just because everyone's going on about how awesome it looked. And so yeah, I thought, you know what, I may as well just give that a read just because, yeah, it did look pretty freaking awesome. Also, I got the only generation. This is the only Generations I'm gonna get, and that is the Spider-Man one, the Miles Morales and Peter Parker Spider-Man one, which, you know, I'm hoping is okay. And finally, we've got Nightwing: The New Order, which I'm pretty excited to read. The last issue was really good. I hope this one's equally strong. Loving the cover. I'm loving how like keeping this like kind of like propaganda poster feel to the covers, because they're done really well. I think they're really cool. So yeah, I'll be reading the remainder of these tonight, and yeah, that's pretty much what I think of the Marvel Legacy. Obviously, it comes up with this massive like fold-out poster as well. It's like all that. But you know what I hate about Marvel? It's the ink. Like, for some reason, for me, whenever I read like a Marvel thing, like the ink on the covers always comes off of my hands, and I don't know as to whether it's me, like maybe my hands are super greasy and I don't know it or something. But always with Marvel stuff, like I always end up with ink, and it really annoys me. I mean, you probably can't quite tell from looking at this, but there are a few areas where like ink has just come off in my hands, and I'm like, how? When did that happen? And how? My hands aren't even greasy. Like, what the hell's going on? But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BigA85GL. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.